Welcome to the channel. It's Almighty Dan and I'm back again. It's been a very good week for us as far as news and NBA 2K26, man. We've been getting a lot of good My Player Builder news. Shout out to Joe Knows. I checked out some of his 6-6 builds from his video today. And you know, me personally, I'm a big fan of 6-6 builds, 6-5. That's always my ideal height in 2K, except for 2K25 because you know they made it to where the shorter your player was, the more attributes you got. So it was more beneficial in 2K25 for me personally to make a shorter build. So I went about 6'3". 6'4" would have been nice too, but I'm hoping in 2K26 the 6'5 builds and the 6'6 builds are as good as they look right here. So first things first, y'all go ahead and drop a like, subscribe if you're new, cut those notifications on so you don't miss a beat, and we gonna get into it. Now all I need to show y'all about the builder is this screen right here. This screen is the most important screen that I'm gonna show y'all because it shows you the max attribute potential. This shows you the best you could be in each category for a 6'6 minimum wingspan build. And as you can see, you can get a 94 3-pointer, fire, 99 mid-range, fire, up to a 95 driving dunk, fire. And then if you look at the ball handling, which is a massive step up from last year, you can get 93 ball handle, 86 speed with ball. Now if you look at the badge tier 1 and tier 2 down below, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a hint that at 86 speed with ball you can get lightning launch. So since you have max +1 badges and max +2 badges this year, you can take the speed with ball at 86 and put that on legend. At 86 you get to gold, but you can boost that up to legend. Now as I've been saying, there's two ways you can go about making your builds this year. You can go ahead and make the build and max out your 3-pointer and go 99-3 off rip, or go 93 ball handling off rip, or whatever category you want to have that's most important to you. You can go ahead and max it off rip. Or what I recommend doing is making your build with the cap breakers in mind so you have more attributes to apply to your build in other areas. And as the year goes on, your build will be getting better as you're getting more cap breakers and unlocking those max +1, max +2 badge perks. You're going to thank me later if you do it that way for sure, because you're going to have a build that's going to last you for the entire year. Now, with that being said, right, for example, you see this build here has a 94 3-point shot, right? So, obviously, I believe at 93 you get gold limitless. You also get gold set shot specialist. So instead of just go ahead and going straight to 93, similar in 2K25 when we got our cap breakers, maybe you go straight to about 89, right? Because if you go to 89, it'll give you 5 cap breakers to get to 94. Then once you use your cap breakers to get you to 94, you can use your max +2 badge perks and then boost your shooting badges up to legend. From gold straight to legend, and now you saved a lot of points from your 3-pointer. You could put that on your dunk, your playmaking, your defense, your physicals, anywhere else you want to put them. Now me personally, I make the same build almost every year. I definitely like to have dunk, I definitely like to have shooting, and I definitely like to be able to dribble and pass the ball. It's simple. My first build is not really a two-way. It's more of just a point guard to run the offense and be able to play, make, and score. Simple as that. That's the type of player I am. I like to play, make, I like to score, and then I like to give myself some steals so I can get some stops. That's my type of style of play. But looking at this right here, it's looking like the 6'6 build, 6'5 builds might be back, but I also need to compare it to the 6'3 builds, because if you get a lot more attributes at 6'3 or 6'4, that might make you very, very overpowered. But from what I've seen from the taller builds thus far is this: it seems like the taller builds have an easier time finishing. So if you have a smaller build on you, that might be very, very overpowered. And layup this year is something that we need to keep in mind, because we can customize our own layup packages, and on the float game, looks like it actually might be pretty decent this year from what I've been seeing. So when I fast forward, just showing you how this build ended up being at about a 98 overall from the Joe Knows video, you can see 93 3-pointer, 83 mid-range. Like I said, I wouldn't go as high on my 3-pointer for my day one build because I'm going to build it with cap breakers in mind. Now, this is also a two-way build, so I will go a little bit differently about it, but this is just one of his 3 builds he made in this video. There's a big assumption that driving, layup, and the floaters are going to be very, very good this year. So, some people might go for that over the dunk. I'm going to go dunk, bro. Dunk is always pretty reliable for the most part. I wasn't as overpowered as it used to be in 24 last year in 2K25, but this year I seen some of the green windows for the dunk meter. It looks like it's going to be very, very good. And the fact that I can get gold posterizer and potentially boost that up to legend on my build, I have to have it. It's nothing to even talk about. Now my layup, hopefully I boost my driving dunk up and it pushes my layup up enough. I get maybe silver, gold float game. That should be good enough for me personally, you know, because that's the way I want to build my build. But if I can drop my height to 6'5", I'm thinking if I get my mid range up a little bit higher, you know what I mean? Maybe I'll focus on that. And that could be like I can hunt the mid range and I have to focus on the layup as much because I already have the driving dunk, and since my 3-pointer is already going to be high, the mid range is going to scale with it, so that should be okay. But I need to see how the layup scales with the driving dunk as well. So that's something that I'm gonna pay attention to and keep in mind. But it does look like the 6'6s are going to be a viable build this year. They look very, very deadly. Now I know some of y'all may be interested about that ball handle. Y'all might want to get to 95 to get certain animations, and also the height. The height may cap you out of some of the smaller guard animations, so that may make some of you want to go 6'5", 6'4" even. You know what I mean? Maybe to get some of those smaller guard animations, maybe like Kyrie Irving or maybe like Steph Curry, some of those elite point guard animations. Now, personally, I think if you get the speed with ball at 86, if the dribbling is as good as it's been looking in these gameplay clips, there should be enough animations and move to use on the 6'6", and we shouldn't be limited like we were last year. So I think that would be okay, personally. But something that's also very important is that the defense on here, man. I feel like this year defense is going to be even more important because it pretty much feels like the builder is kind of the same for the most part, but it's allowing taller builds more fluidity to move and handle the ball, which means you're going to have to guard. You're going to have to guard this year. And if you don't have enough perimeter to stick with players, enough speed, which is going to be very important, and agility, and enough perimeter to at least get challenger on some level like silver, you might be in some trouble. So that's something that y'all want to pay attention to. Now, if we go to another build, for example, 6'6" medium arms here, as you can see here, 87, 75 layup. This is kind of a bit more my speed with the driving dunk, but like I said, I probably won't have that much defense on my first build, to be honest. But we'll see. I mean, I got to see how it's going to scale. I know the speed is going to be very, very important to me because I do want to be able to stay in front of my defender at anything, because it's almost no point in having a lot of perimeter if you don't have the speed to go with it, in my opinion, because the builds are going to be fast. I mean, allowing 6'6s to get lightning launch, bro, you're going to need that speed to stay in front of these players. Now, I don't know how good on-ball menace is going to be just yet. If he's going to be like super, super sticky or strong handles and whatnot, that could be a very big thing. But when I see these build videos, I start thinking about what I could do differently to counter and do the opposite of what everybody else is doing, so I have an advantage in that way. Like, if nobody has strength, maybe you go ahead and make your build a little bit stronger so you can go get past them, finish. You got strong handles, they make layup. If they don't have interior defense, 50, you need to be attacking them. Driving dunk, if it's on high and it's on legend, and these guards and these 6'6 builds are super offensively heavy, they have perimeter D but no interior, you need to be taking them to the paint and dunking on them. Simple as that. So dunk, it's non-negotiable for me. It's non-negotiable. So the 6'6", 7-foot wingspan build has an 89 driving dunk, 75 driving lay. This is not my type of build. I definitely got to go higher on the 3, but this is more like a two-way, more of a defender. But like I said, the ball handling is there. It seems like on every one of these builds, decent speed, not super, super fast. Maybe that's some of the trade-off you're going to get for going 6'6". But me personally, it's looking like it's going to be okay. My hands in the builder and I spend my time in there, maybe some of these attributes are cheaper than others. For example, like perimeter defense might be expensive. I think I seen that pass accuracy wasn't as expensive, so I definitely want to go about 85 pass accuracy, me personally. But if the perimeter D is expensive, I could drop that to about maybe 75ish, maybe get silver challenger, whatever that might be. Raise my pass accuracy up, get that 3-pointer up. Might be cooking with something right here, 6'6". But like I said, I need to get in the game myself and see for myself. I watch these videos to kind of give me an idea of how it's going to be. And as I continue to watch more and I see more point guard builds, because that's what I'm focused on, and I see 6'5", 6'4", 6'3s, I'll be able to see the differences, and I'll be able to determine just by watching the videos and how the attributes are scaling which way I'm gonna go about it before I even get the game. But I do like the 6'6s because I do like to have that height on the game. The height advantage is always good, and if you can have a height advantage and you can dribble the ball, you're gonna be tough to stop. I mean, having that 90 ball handle is gonna have you out there moving very, very shifty on this game, man. You can really do a lot of damage, a lot of work. So I'm looking forward to see how this goes this year, man. It's looking promising, but there's still a lot more builds you got to look over, a lot more builds you got to review, and I'm gonna get on that. So I'm gonna keep watching build videos. I'm gonna keep y'all updated, keep y'all posted on what y'all think, what I like, what I see. Right now, the 6'6" build does look okay, but if you could be even more overpowered by losing a few inches, if the builds scale like they did last year by dropping a few inches and you're getting that many more attribute points, and it's just making all the builds better. If it's the same way as last year, but just making the builds better, where, okay, 6'6" gets a good amount of attributes, but a 6'3" or a 6'4" gets even more, then, I mean, as a point guard, you might have to go 6'3", 6'4". 6'6" as a shooting guard is okay. But if you can get even more as that as a point guard, that might be very, very crazy, you know what I mean, in my opinion. But only time will tell. We're going to see. And as we get these more videos and more information, I'm going to let y'all know. But anyways, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Y'all be sure to like, subscribe if you're new. Until next time, man, Densky out.